Hello everybody, Assassinator back with another Xbox Catchup video for October 1st. Now we have a lot of small topics, so we're going to get right into it. With the first being, is Octopath Traveler 2 coming to Game Pass? Well, an article earlier this week stated that it would be dropping into Game Pass when it releases. But then within hours, the article was updated, removing the mention of Octopath Traveler 2, with an official statement saying that it was a mistake. So this could be a mistake and they're not planning on bringing it into Game Pass, or maybe they just weren't supposed to announce it so early. I mean, the first game is in Game Pass, but we don't have a definitive answer at the moment, and we'll have to wait until 2024 when it releases to see if it's actually coming into Game Pass. Next up, Alan Wake 2 will have a performance mode on the Series X. The game was built with a 30 frames per second experience focusing on visuals and ambience, but the developers of the game managed to include a solid performance mode. Now, it doesn't say what the frames per second the performance mode will run at, so I'd say don't get your hopes up for 60, but we will see in the coming weeks once that part is announced. Next up, Disney's Speedstorm has left early access and is now a free-to-play game as of September 28th. Now, I would say this game is closer to a Crash Team Racing than a Mario Kart because it does have microtransactions, it will have new seasons every 2 months, it will have events and other challenges to unlock unique items. So basically Crash Team Racing with Disney IPs. Now overall, it does look like it could be fun. I have heard some good things about it, but I hear the microtransactions are a little bit too much. I'm going to check it out for myself because what I heard about it was during early access. So maybe they made some tweaks based off of feedback, but we'll see. And obviously if anything comes up, I'll let you know. It has also been announced that Grounded, that backyard survival game, will be getting a new update in November, and it will be a new way to play. Now from the video that I saw, it looks like you can place items in the backyard like the baseball and like the tablet container, the candy containers. You can move those around, so maybe you get to kind of create your own backyard. That would be the only thing I can see from that video, but we'll have to wait till closer to November when they actually announce more details. But if you're still a Grounded player, it's something to look forward to. Now we have some release dates. So we got Achilles Legends Untold, which will be releasing on November 2nd. That is an action RPG. We have the Talos Principle 2 releasing also November 2nd, which is a puzzle game that looks like it took some elements from Portal. So overall, that could be a positive right there. I didn't know much about the game until I actually looked it up for this video, and overall, it now has me intrigued. I will be looking out for it. Then we have Teardown releasing on November 15th, which is the voxel-based destruction game that looks like Minecraft meets Grand Theft Auto. And then the last game that I got the release date for was Warm Snow, releasing on October 20th. Next up, we have a couple of things that Phil Spencer did while in Japan. So one of the things was he autographed a fan's PS5 cover plate. Now based on the photo, that cover plate looks like a piece of paper. So I don't know, PlayStation needs to step it up and make something that looks a little bit better in my opinion. Phil and his team also visited Tango Gameworks and probably checked out what they're working on. I'm hoping it's a Hi-Fi Rush 2, as that first game was a surprise hit at the beginning of 2023. Now I know this has nothing to do with Phil being in Japan, but the Xbox Series has now hit a combined total sales of 500,000 units in Japan, which makes it the second best-selling Xbox behind the Xbox 360, which is currently at 1.6 million. Now the Xbox Series has a long way to go, but I think that they can still match it, if not beat it, because according to reports, it's probably going to be a 7 to 8 year life cycle for the series consoles. Next up, a bit of sad news depending on if it was a game that you liked, because the team behind Minecraft Dungeons at Mojang is moving on to their next project. For me, I hope it's Dungeons 2, as my family and I enjoyed the first game. I mean, overall it had 25 million unique players, so it was decently popular. Now I'm hoping that they announce this right now because they might be showing something or talking about something during Minecraft Live on October 15th. But we'll have to wait and see. Now I have a bit more information on High on Life's expansion, which is High on Knife. It releases on October 3rd, and it will be included with a Game Pass subscription for no extra charge. Or if you purchased it on the side, you'll be able to play it for no extra charge. So that's some good news, because there were some people saying that you were going to have to buy the full game. Even if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you'd have to buy the full game in order to actually play it. Well, that info was false. Now this expansion takes place 2 years after the bounty hunter defeated the G3, so basically after the main game, it's supposed to take place 2 years later. And now Knifey needs to track down a mysterious package from his home world. It will include 12 new achievements worth a total of 195 gamer score if that's something that you go after. And the expansion releases in just a couple of days. So if you enjoyed the main game, obviously you'll probably enjoy this expansion at no extra cost. And another game getting a free update is Sonic Frontiers. It got its final content update called The Final Horizon. It will include new story, new playable characters, new challenges, just to name a few of the things that it includes. And again, at no extra cost, all you have to do is own the base game. Next up, we have game releases. So the puzzle game Cocoon did release into Game Pass day 1 on September 29th. And overall, it had a pretty good score on Metacritic. It was an 89 or 90 when I last checked it. And being free on Game Pass is just a positive right there. Next up, we have Forza Motorsports, which is releasing into early access on October 5th if you have the Premium Edition or Premium Expansion, but you also have to have Game Pass in order to have that Premium Expansion. Now, the Premium Edition is $99.99. If you want the Premium Expansion, that's going to be $39.99 plus the Game Pass discount. I believe it's like 10% off that. Or you could just wait for the full release on October 10th when it releases day 1 into Game Pass. Next up is Assassin's Creed Mirage, also coming out on the 5th. Now, I completed my Starfield journey just on time to start both of these games, so I'll be playing Forza Motorsports for sure on the 5th, and then I'll be playing Assassin's Creed once Amazon delivers my game because I bought a physical edition because I still go physical whenever possible. And sometimes Amazon doesn't deliver on its release date, therefore I might be playing that a couple of days later. But nonetheless, I have something else to play with Forza Motorsport. Then coming to Game Pass on October 3rd would be Gotham Knights. Now again, a lot of people said some bad stuff about this, but there's also a lot of people saying some good stuff about it. I mean, it's not no 90, but it's more like a 70-75, which isn't a bad game at all. It's a game in my backlog that I do plan on getting to someday. It's just, I don't know when, because there's just so many games coming out that I want to play. Then there's the Lamplighters League. Again, day 1 into Game Pass, October 3rd, which is a strategic turn-based combat game. Not really my genre, but I did want to point it out in case it is one of yours. Then there's Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, releasing into Game Pass on October 4th. Now, based off the gameplay I saw, it is a first-person action game with up to 4-player co-op, where you and your team fight against hordes of enemies. Now, this was not on my radar before, but now after seeing this trailer, it's now definitely on my radar. The issue is, it comes out at the beginning of the month along with Forza and Assassin's Creed. I might not get to this one until later on in the year. Now, last but not least is Microsoft is considered the best company in the world to work for according to Time magazine. Now, the article came out basically saying that Microsoft is at the top when it comes to employee satisfaction. So anyone thinking that Microsoft is just a bad company, it isn't true. At least it seems like they're taking care of their employees. And that's going to be it for this week. Hopefully this video was informative. If it was, make sure to hit that like button. But until next time, Assassinator out.